need to kill Oscar. Ashley, I really didn't. I really think I did that. I didn't mean to hurt him.
In the dimly lit courtroom, tension hung thick in the air as the judge's gavel echoed, delivering a verdict that would reverberate through the lives of the youngest gang members in the city.
Is not sufficiently substantial to call for leniency, and that a natural life sentence is appropriate.
As the heavy doors clanged shut, a collective gasp escaped from the gallery of onlookers, echoing the disbelief that gripped the room. The accused, whose faces were marked by a mix of defiance and fear, stood frozen in the harsh reality of their fates. We'll start with Brandon Spencer.
I'm not a bad person, but I made mistakes. But I'm not just some gangbanger that she tried to portray me as.
A 21-year-old guy was given a 40-year to life term for shooting and hurting 4 people outside of a USC Halloween party in 2012. After firing shots outside of the Black Student Assembly-sponsored party on October 31, 2012, Brandon Spencer was found guilty of 4 counts of attempted murder. During the trial, the prosecutor said that Spencer shot someone because he was in a fight with a rival gang member and that he was a documented, well-known gang member himself. He begged the judge to be lenient, asking for a second chance at life.
3D, this is to be concurrent with the principal term. Has to count.
He became angry when the judge told him his sentence, according to officials. Early this year, Spencer heard that he had been found guilty. He then threw over a chair and begged the officers to shoot him.
I made mistakes, but I'm not just some gangbanger that she tried to portray me as.
Because none of the 4 people who were shot were USC students, including Spencer, the school now makes all guests register before they can come on campus between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. Next up, we have Dillon Wright.
This year was supposed to be a year of celebration, of senior pictures with prom and graduation and parties. Instead, it was a nightmare.
An Ann Arbor man was sentenced for the shooting death of a high school student in Ann Arbor. During the hearing, the judge in Washtenaw County took away his smile. Judge David S. Swartz of Washtenaw County Trial Court.
I'm very tempted to just say, I'm not going to accept this sentence agreement. We'll go to trial, and if you're convicted of felony murder, you'll go to prison for the rest of your life. That means you'll die there.
Let prosecutors think again about their plea deal and term of 25 to 52 years in jail after seeing 17-year-old Dillon Wright smile.
Sentenced by the parties, but watching you sit there, smile and laugh and shake your head like this was no big deal.
While the mother of murdered Pioneer High School student Jordan Klee cried. Wright seemed to be comforted by a loved one in the courtroom as Klee's grandfather, her crying mother, Karen Klee, and her cousin gave a victim impact statement. Wright smiled and shook his head. They talked about how much the Pioneer High School student loved sports, including the prom and holidays he would have missed. They also talked about how sad they were about his death.
Jordan has no future. Jordan can no longer choose to go to college. Jordan can no longer choose to change.
When Wright got to speak, he told the judge that all he wanted was his plea deal and sentence, and he was going to be home soon. He also said he loved his family and R.I.P. Keon.
Tell y'all, I'll be home soon. R.I.P. Keon, I love my family.
Which seemed to be a reference to the death of Keon Washington in 2014, which was thought to be connected to gangs. Now we will talk about Carpio Brothers.
Gang members were sentenced today for killing a teenager on a high school campus in the Valley.
2 teenage boys were given their sentences for their part in the death of a student by stabbing at Cleveland High School in Reseda in 2013. 2 men, Anthony Carpio and Michael Stephen Carpio, were each given 16 years to live in prison. The 2 Carpios were both in a street gang. Each of them was found guilty of killing Kevin Orellana in the 2nd degree. Orellana was not a part of any gang. A 3rd co-defendant, 21-year-old Michelle Pineda, was given 2 years in county jail after pleading not guilty to 1 criminal count of being an agent after the fact with knowledge of a crime. As Orellana played volleyball at Grover Cleveland High School on April 24, 2013, the brothers came up to him, the prosecutor said. According to the evidence in court, the suspects made a gang dare, which led to a fight. People who were there said that Anthony Carpio stabbed Orellana during the fight. Marcus said that the Carpio brothers then hit a car that Panetta was driving. Randy Page of CBS 2 said that the Carpio brothers were expressionless in the Van Nuys courtroom when Judge Martin Herskovitz gave the sentence.
All he was doing.
Marcus read a victim impact statement that Orellana's family had written before he was sentenced. As parents, we can't wait to dance at their wedding.
As a parent, we plan to dance at their wedding,
celebrate their promotion, and maybe even have grandchildren.
Celebrate a promotion, look forward to possible grandchildren.
As the statement said, the last thing we would ever think about is having to plan their funeral.
Thought we would ever have is that we'll have to plan their funeral.
The boys won't be able to get out of jail until at least 2028. Lastly, we will discuss the case of Martis Fuller.
Only took a few hours for a jury to convict a Kenosha teen of murdering his former girlfriend. Martis Fuller became emotional after the verdict was read this afternoon.
Kaylee Juga was killed in Kenosha County in 2019. Martis Fuller was found guilty and given a life term without the chance of release. Fuller was charged as an adult with criminally causing death, attempting to cause death, and breaking into a house with a gun. He told the police that he was not guilty. In March 2021, a jury said he was guilty.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree intentional homicide.
The government says that Juga's ex-boyfriend, Fuller, broke into her house, shot her, and killed her. She had music on in her bedroom at the time. Stephanie Juga told the judge, "I miss my daughter so much," at her sentencing. "She was always with me, whether we were shopping, going to the gym, going to Starbucks, watching Netflix, listening to music in the car, or just dancing around the kitchen."
We were shopping, going to the gym, going to Starbucks, watching Netflix, jamming in the car to music, or just dancing like crazy in the kitchen. She was always by my side, and she was my biggest cheerleader.
Jenga said, "She was my biggest fan. Now I am lost." Michael Gravely, the DA for Kenosha County, says this is a case of domestic abuse. His attorney read a statement that Martis Fuller wrote in court. He said he was sorry but didn't say why.
"Fully, I am sorry about the pain you've all suffered through."
He just said he's innocent. The lawyer read out loud for Fuller, "But I have to continue to stand innocent because I am.
But I have to continue to stand innocent because I am.
And I know that I haven't shown much emotion during my time. However, the real reason is that it's hard to cry when I think about how my mom lost a son, one of her children." Fuller's lawyer asked the court if there was a chance that he could be under more control in 25 to 30 years. The judge agreed with the state and gave Fuller a life term without the chance of release. When Judge Mary Kay Wagner spoke, she said that Fuller did not have a damaged childhood or a background of mental illness. Jagwa's mom says she heard her daughter scream from upstairs. In 2019, she talked about how she stood next to Fuller while he pointed a gun at her and told him, "You don't have to do this." His answer was, "Yes, I have to." At the time, they were both 15 years old and top students at Bradford High School. The mother also told the police that Fuller shot her several times when she tried to close the door. After that, she locked herself in the bathroom and called the police. Stephanie, Juga's mother, spoke in court about her daughter. If this video has left you with questions or stirred a desire for action, consider engaging in conversations that go beyond the surface. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to subscribe for more thought-provoking content that delves into the heart of societal issues. Thank you for joining us on this emotional journey.